Oh, great. So it starts here. It's quite linear, our idea. So in terms of creative entrepreneurship and innovation, it begins here with a blank slate, which is being held back by a sense of stasis, lethargy, immobility, holding back the creator. But once they get past that point here, with that blank slate, as innovators, as designers, we have the freedom to be able to spin around and choose a whole host of wicked problems, unique opportunities for us. Do you want to explain what's going on there?
Here we have some competition, and the creative entrepreneur can use must try to look into the future with binoculars, obviously, and see what lies ahead and try to predict the right path. So this is like a risk, or which is a competition, obviously.
Just try to control competitors.
Yeah.
And then this section here is quite detached from how it began, but that you held up and it spun around, and eventually it stopped spinning, and that was the process of an elevator pitch, or being able to connect with people and say, this is my great idea, you should be involved in it. The core of this idea here is collaboration.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna. Do you reckon we could spin it? Do you reckon it might fall apart?
It's worth it.
Oh, I see it moving.
Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. So that's collaboration and the moving parts that come together for that. We'll come back to explain all the other stuff on that. Yeah. And then all the way through to here, we come to a bridge of challenges, of issues, of setbacks, roadblocks, even to direct us through our project or our company business model, whatever you'd like to say.
One of them, which is sexism, for example, we have up here.
Yeah, so sexism being almost like above it all, as an example of something that can hold back a company, any form of progress or something like that.
Yeah.
And then that leads on to failure here. So failure being not a sort of an end point, but something that one can come back from. So that's represented with the hanging man. But then that, if you're able to get back up from your failures, will lead you to, through various roadblocks, to eventual success. Now, throughout this, we were looking at what are the various elements that affect this, or can hold back, or the external factors. So, what were the ones sitting around the front here that we've mentioned?
Yeah, we have that stasis with that.
Oh, so that was one of them. Here we've got sort of potential. Like seed funding from ourselves, like out of our own pockets.
Competition.
Competition was one. What was this one here? Lack of resources.
Yeah, choosing the right business partners, or the wrong one. Sorry, that's potential failure or cause of failure.
Yes, that was partners and the resources. This one here was the sort of the larger corporate machine. So the way that you are connected in that. So if you're collaborating with a group of people, that's often within a university structure or within a business that can be rigid and can hold you into a certain structure.
Yeah.
And so, like we mentioned before, we've got sexism here. That's the glass ceiling there. And this one here is risk, which is quite fragile, because even just a little bit knocks off our little man here from his single-minded goal.
We got the stress pit here that you could fall into when you're working hard on your business. And this bridge we ended up building to make the work environment better, obviously, so you don't fall down into this pit of stress.
And you've got your shark over there.
Then all the way through we have this risk of corporate takeover, or like someone buying you out, or
so that's another form of failure in a sense. And we've got corruption here, which affects that as well. A number of blockers that can potentially hold you back from your end goals. Something that we've missed that sort of falls throughout here is the various coping mechanisms that relate to things like depression, and like we've got at the front here, the sense of stasis. So the depression and anxiety and the various coping mechanisms, whether that might be drugs and alcohol or breaking down of relationships and excessive foods or any other kinds of addictions.
One big external factor is also running out of funds. So this is like the funding that you use to fuel your machine. And we figured that if we were to solve that problem somehow, we thought that we could build a bridge from someone who already has success and funnel that money back into a new business or sort of kick it forward or pay it forward.
A reinvestment strategy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep,
I think that is all.
That's all of it.